Hello and welcome back. Well, I just tried recording this video, but I did it through StreamYard, and for some reason, it did what it always does to me. It went blank and messed up even on a recording. So, here we go, take two. Alright. Now, the first thing I wanted to go over was the silence button. You know, that button that they want to use during the next presidential debate. It's a form of censorship to the highest public office in America. These guys are running for public office. They should have the rights to speak. And yeah, I know. When the first debate happened, they looked like two kindergartners fighting over their favorite blue crayon or something. But with that being said, you know, it stems back to what's going on with the Twitter accounts being shut down. The New York Times, the New York Post, whichever, their story on Hunter's laptop and everything that comes with that. But the thing that gets me is all these newspapers also have these parts of them called the opinions articles, right, where people can write their opinions, send them in. It's not completely based on facts. And isn't that what us YouTube creators are? We're giving our opinions. Like, I've been known to do that on my old channel. I've been known very well to give my opinion on something. And a lot of people like to hear other people's opinions. Sometimes it gives you that little touch of information to go, wow, I didn't realize that, you know. But this silence button, it is censoring. It is a form of censorship. It's a form of having control. You know, when they don't have control over someone and they cannot control what someone is saying, how else do you do it? Silence. That little silence button. You know, that button that a lot of us, all through our lives, wish we had it. Somebody's carrying on about something, you just want to go, yeah, be quiet. But at the same time, say a question's brought up, and it has to do with Amy Coney Barrett, the new judge that they want to swear in. Well, let's say that subject gets brought up, and Trump looks at Biden and goes, so the people want to know, do you plan on packing the court? Do you plan on packing courts? What's your opinion on that? Well, what's your thoughts on that? That's right where they can hit that silence button and stop him from saying that. Stop him from questioning it. Because didn't Biden point blank come out and say the people don't have the rights to know whether I want to pack the courts or not? I'm sorry. When it comes to that, the people have the rights to know whether you're going to do that or not. You know, we have the rights to know. Just like we have the rights to know if you're going to raise our taxes. What exactly do you stand for? That's what the people want to know. Fracking, no fracking. Pack the court, don't pack the court. Higher taxes, lower taxes, tax cuts. It's these are the issues, you know. I have a funny feeling the pandemic is going to be a big part of this rundown again. They're going to go after Trump with all that. And, oh, look how bad he did. He did this, he did that. Well, you know what? You can't go after someone when you don't have any facts to prove for the other person. What did Biden do? He sat in his basement. He social distanced from everything except himself. So he didn't put anything out there. He weren't making any rules. He weren't, you know, every country around this world, when it comes down to it, went about it different. Some places did a kick-ass job. Some places not so good. And here in America, Trump let every state take care of it themselves, which is the way it actually should have been. Because then, if Trump would have gone in and said, oh, it's got to be this way, this way, this way, this way, they would have said the federal government is overreaching. But here's the kicker to that. Because he didn't go in and say this, because he didn't lay down the law on all these people, they're saying he didn't do enough. He should have done more. Well, when he wanted to send the National Guard into places, they were like, no, we don't want it. No, we don't want it. A damned if you do and a damned if you don't situation. But the silence button, like I said, you guys, it's all about censorship and control, and this is control at the highest level. Because now they can sit back and say, hey, look, we had control over what the President of the United States was able to say. Why can't we control what the people have to say? Twitter doing the same thing. We all know that our favorite little search engine, Google, censors things. Have you ever tried to find something on there one time and know for a fact that you've seen it, and then all of a sudden it's gone because it goes against what they believe? And it's not just the whole company might be against what it's saying. It's the person in charge. You're going against their beliefs. You're going against their thoughts. Well, hey, wait, hold on. You're going against our beliefs. You're going against our thoughts by censoring the way that the censoring's being done. And that's just what this silence button is. It's a giant censor button that can be used by the monitor of the debate to turn it on and turn it off when they feel fit. They can change, and I just found out that they can actually change the subjects, because there is no set subjects in these things. So people, we see the censorship, like I said, it's going after the top now. It's going after the biggest things in the United States, the presidential debate. We shouldn't be allowed to censor. Should they go at each other like a bunch of little kindergartners? No. But, you know, it's just the way it is. When you overtalk someone, you're censoring them. When they say something you don't like and you constantly cut them off and you don't let them say what they're saying, you're censoring them. But that's exactly what the silence button is. It's a great big censor button for the presidential debate. Now, I found an article, and it's Rudy Giuliani turns over alleged Hunter Biden laptop to authorities in Delaware. This article goes on to say that in Wilmington, Delaware, Rudy Giuliani's efforts to tarnish Joe Biden's presidential campaign continued in Delaware when he visited a police station Monday to share files from what he said was Hunter Biden's laptop. They've got a hard drive or a laptop or something to that effect. They try to turn it over to the Newcastle County PD. Newcastle County PD calls us, says Matt Marshall, a spokesman for Delaware Attorney General Kathy Jennings. Now we have a spokesman for the Attorney General saying they have a laptop, they have a hard drive, they have something, and they want to turn it over. Wait a second, hold on. Could that be fake? You know what I'm saying? Where's the facts? Fact checkers, where's the facts? What do they have? Do they have the actual hard drive? Do they have the actual laptop? But anyways, I digress on that one. Jennings' office gave the device to the FBI, which reportedly is investigating the veracity of the claims about the origins of the laptop and how its contents were shared with Giuliani's team, Marshall said. As we've seen in multiple reports, the FBI is looking into whether the claims are credible. He said, in light of their investigation, we're referring it over to them now. So they're turning the laptop over to the FBI. And a tabloid got a trove of data on Hunting Biden from Rudy Giuliani. FBI investigates possible disinformation campaign. So they're right off the bat. It says they're investigating a possible disinformation campaign. Why ain't they investigating the possible abuse of power? Why ain't they investigating the possible pay to play? Instead, they're investigating the possible disinformation campaign. See how quick that got turned around? So that the eyes are taking off what the actual subject of this whole thing is. Which is what... this is the kind of things that piss me off. Okay? They might have a laptop. They might have a hard drive. Oh, we're investigating a disinformation claim. No, you're hiding things again. We went through this in 2016. Remember all the Clinton emails that Russia, who now gets brought up in this, was behind? Come on, get a new play. It's fourth and long, and you ain't doing too well. On October 14th, Delaware computer repairman John Paul Mac Isaac claimed that in April 2019, a man who identified himself as Hunter Biden brought a liquid-damaged MacBook Pro to his small repair shop. And I get a kick out of this next part. Mac Isaac said his poor vision prevented him from personally identifying the man as Biden. Okay, you have poor vision, but you're working on computers? Yeah, piss on my back and tell me it's raining. You know, that right there, it's like, you can see good enough to see the little wires and circuits, but you can't see good enough to identify a person. Something seems a little sketchy there to me. In the subsequent year and a half, Mac Isaac said a whole lot of players were involved in the story of how President Donald Trump's circle took possession of last month's copy of the hard drive. So they have a copy of the hard drive, according to Mac Isaac himself, but yet up here in the story, they have a hard drive, they have a laptop, they have something of that effect. Come on. You know, just in this one article, you see proof that something is being hidden here. And like I was saying, Biden himself come right out and said we don't deserve to know whether he wants to pack the courts or not. So what? We don't deserve to know whether his son and him were using his his vice presidency, his power, to get away with things? Money type things? But he declined to provide details on what he just said, with there's a whole lot of players involved in it. Okay. And this is where the whole Twitter thing took place. It talks about that. On October 14th, the publication ran a story that the hard drive contained emails from 2015 indicating that then Vice President Joe Biden held a meeting with high-ranking officials at Burisma Holdings, a Ukraine energy company whose board employee his son. So, if we remember right, Biden even came out and said that he has used his power to get people taken care of. But yet, Biden here, it says right here, Biden's campaign said no meeting as alleged by the New York Post ever took place. You never, if it's behind closed doors, you can deny it all you want. Nobody will never know the truth about what actually happened, what was said, or anything else. And that's right where when Trump's indictment, a supposed phone call, but somebody who came, the whistleblower that came forward, knew everything that was said on that phone call, even though that person was not one of the ones on the phone call. Either they were listening in, or they were listening in to know exactly what is said between two people. Because you can't just go by what one side of the story is. You've got to go through and hear the whole story to get the truth, which is what a lot of us look for, is the truth behind it. All right. Now, Sunday, the New York Times published an article claiming that the New York Post reporter who wrote most of the article about Biden's laptop refused to put his name on the story because he had concerns over the article's credibility. Okay, so now we have the New York Times going after the New York Post. And we have Twitter and Google and YouTube and everybody going after people like you and me. So, yeah, it's but it goes on to say, Giuliani, a former New York mayor and current political operative for Trump, asserted that Joe Biden tried to protect Burisma when he pressured the Ukraine president in 2015 into firing the country's prosecutor general. Wait a second, guess what? Didn't I just bring up him saying that he used his power to get rid of a lawyer or something like that? Right there it is. The prosecutors general. So that's what was going on. And it shows it right here in the story. That Biden was using his power to protect Burisma, who employed his son, by pressuring the Ukrainian president into firing the country's prosecutor general. Because the country's prosecutor general was looking into money laundering. Yeah, like I said, it all comes back to the green stuff, baby. And a lot of us have known about this stuff for a long time. It seems funny that it's taking this long for it all to come out. And like I said, in just this one article, it bounces back and forth to the computer salesman, the computer repairman, couldn't identify Biden, but yet, because he has bad eyesight, but yet his eyesight's good enough to solder in everything, all the little components inside of a computer. Once again, piss on my back and tell me it's raining. If you can see good enough to fix things inside of a computer, you can see good enough to identify a person. Just saying. That's just my thoughts on that. That's, and it goes on to say that Tuesday, Giuliani said on former Trump advised Steve Bannon's radio show that he had information of criminal activity related to Hunter Biden. Well, you guys, it just seems funny. This is coming out now, but it's not coming out now. It's been out for a while, but it's being used. It's being used now. It just like back with the Clinton emails, okay? When they came out, it was, Russia. Now, who was it? I can't remember who it was. Said that, Russia is the ones who gave Giuliani the information. So, it's 2016 all over again, you guys. It's the year. Welcome to the October surprise. If this is it, it's a shitty one. I expected something totally different, like them to say, "Oh, yeah, Biden can't run because he's inept." So yeah, Camilla's gonna be choosing her new running mate. She's heading the ticket now. You know, but like I said, it just seems funny that they're going after all this stuff. And it's things that we've all known about. I mean, I had my other channel for over a year and I talked about this stuff. And here it is coming up now with the elections right around the corner. And the silence button. I still can't get over that. They're using a silence button. I don't like what you say. I silence you. Yeah. But yeah, and another thing I want to bring up, I can see if I can find the article. Okay. We have Amtrak. They were asking for, what is it, 90, whatever, a large ass amount of money. They wanted out of the next stimulus. Well, there's an article here. Amtrak trims access to long-distance passenger rail through Pittsfield. And it goes on to talk about, the Lakeshore Limited, which I think it goes from Boston to Chicago. It's no longer going to run daily. Instead, it's going to run tri-weekly. So, the cutback in the service through Pittsfield follows retrenchment across the country by the national carrier. In the early October, Amtrak reduced service around the country because of reduced demand due to the pandemic. But yet, this is where this one gets interesting. Is we had the Biden campaign using Amtrak through Pennsylvania and all that stuff. So we have a company that's asking for millions out of the next stimulus deal, asking the government to bail them out, and we have a presidential candidate using that same exact company, their services, to run him and his campaign around. Something smells a little bit fishy there to me too. The grease the hand that feeds you. It just if you take and you're running a taxi service, okay, and a pandemic happens, something happens that your company is losing a lot of money. Yes, I understand you have to make cuts. You take out the runs that's not making you that much money. You close your circle, your radius of what you do in. You charge a little bit more to go further out. But at the same time, when you go for aid, say you're asking at the state level, we need help to keep our company going, and you have someone who could potentially be in charge of the area or that portion of the government the state government that you're asking money from, would you make a deal with them? Hey, you know what? If you do get elected, man, I'll tell you what. Why don't you we'll say you chartered this whole fleet of cabs to take you guys around. And Amtrak will not disclose how much Biden campaign paid for it. But the Biden campaign is claiming they paid $250,000. Okay. For a couple days of service, $250,000. to have complete control over a train that's going to take them from one campaign to another seems a little fishy. But yeah, like I said, you guys, that's just a little bit of news, some of my thoughts on them. If you're new here, please subscribe. Once again, I'm just starting the channel off over again. Share. Get it back out there again. And as always, stay safe, stay alert, and always do things the way they work best for you. Thank you.